What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Blatant Red TV. It's your boy Max, and I'm here to just bring you the match preview for Liverpool. I was about to say Brighton versus Liverpool, but it's Liverpool versus Brighton at Anfield, 3 p.m. on Saturday this weekend. I hope everyone's having a lovely Friday. It's the weekend, people. But if you're like me and you have work tomorrow, yeah. First of all, I want to touch on obviously Arne Slot's press conference because I wanted to watch that before I came on camera and started to talk and thing. I needed to find that information, like what players are available, and just a few other stuff in it from, you know, thoughts from the game that we played in midweek against Brighton, which we won 3-2 and ended up going through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Injuries, all right. We know Allison, Jota, Chiesa, Elliott, they are all out. They are not due back until after the international break. One of the journalists asked him about contracts and he touched on it. He said basically, all three players are in a good space. They're performing well. Talks are ongoing and let's wait and see what happens. And that's all we can do as Liverpool fans, I'm afraid. We can just, if we can have it our way and get them signed ASAP, I'm sure we'd all want that, but that's not how life works. Obviously, these are three key players for Liverpool in Virgil van Dijk, Trent, and Salah. So, boy, I want all three of them to sign, to be honest. I know people are saying that Salah, obviously, he looks the more likely to probably leave. But Salah's come out on numerous occasions and says that he wants to stay at Liverpool. So Liverpool need to do what they have to do and get Salah, Trent, and Virgil signed. He was asked a question about the fact that he went with Jones and Sobol as makeshift number nines in the game against Brighton in midweek. And he basically just said it was interesting to see. It worked out well, but I still would prefer to play with an out-and-out number nine, but it could be a possibility if we have injuries. So that was interesting. He was asked a question, sorry, should I say, that how does he feel about Liverpool being in four competitions, and does it bother him? Because Jurgen Klopp obviously previous used to come out and say he wasn't really a fan of the Carabao Cup, and Pep Guardiola has already come out this season and said he's playing, B team or the kids in that game. He's not really taking that competition serious. But Slot came out and said that he's taking all competition seriously. This competition even more because of the fact that we are the holders. So, and he said it's a chance as well for him to see, or players that are on the fringes, they can get minutes. And this is the competition where these players can get minutes because it's difficult for the other players that are sitting on the bench because the players that are playing in the first 11 are all playing so good at the minute. So, yeah, that was interesting. But the fact that he said if we have injuries, then it's a possibility. So if we probably do get injuries to some of our attacking players, then you might see him play with midfielders like Sobo or maybe someone else as a false nine. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that was interesting to hear him say. He was asked a question on Kwanzaa as well because, as we all know, Kwanzaa obviously was at fault for the two goals that we conceded against Brighton. I wouldn't say he was at fault for the second one because it was the deflection, but the first one, it was a poor pass from him, and they did score from that situation. He obviously was asked questions about Maka, like where do you see Maka's favourite position in midfield? He said that Maka can play all three midfield positions. It depends on how dominant Liverpool are in games, whether he has to play as a second 10 or as a second 6. And I ain't really, obviously I know about the second 6, but I ain't really heard a manager come out and say about a second 10. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if he's deploying Maka as a second 10, that means sometimes in the games we're playing with obviously Nunes as the out and out striker, and then Maka and Szoboszlai as two tens basically. If we're dominating and being attacking in games, yeah, that's crazy to hear him say that. And you think like, rah, okay, yeah, I like that, I like that, I like that. He was also asked a question about Robbo. Well, not really Robbo, just the left back situation. And how comes this position has been rotated a lot this season, where under Jurgen Klopp, Robbo was the favourite, and you didn't really see too much rotation in that position. But he said basically it's due to the fact that Tsimikas has had a pre-season. Robbo I'm not like I totally forgot this, but he said Robbo obviously came back injured from the Euros, and he didn't really have a preseason, so that's why his performance have been up and down. I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense. See again, we as fans, we love to like, oh, Robbo's playing rubbish. Oh man, Robbo's done. Yeah, man, it's time to get rid of Robbo. But I didn't look at it like that. You know what I'm trying to say? This is where it's good to sometimes just not be too harsh on these players, man, and actually like if you have to do your research to figure out why Robbo or any player ain't performing, like just do your research before we come out and start criticizing our own players. Like it's crazy, but like I said, I didn't know Robbo was injured. I didn't know he came back injured. I knew he probably came back late because he was at the Euros, but I didn't know he was injured. So yeah, man, I'm gonna cut Robbo some slack. But he just said basically that Simicast obviously has had a full preseason, and this season so far he's showing a bit more quality at left back. But Robbo obviously got the game against Arsenal. Then he got the game in midweek against Brighton, and he said that the reason why he played him twice so quickly in 2 games is because he wants Robbo to get up to speed and probably get to that level that we know Robbo can get to. So yeah, man. Pre-match stats going into the game. The last 5 results we've had against Brighton, I think I've already spoke about it in the preview. He the 3-2 win we had midweek against Brighton in the cup. And then in the league last season, in March, we beat them 2-1. Then we drew, I think that's the last season at some point. And then we had a 2-1 loss to Brighton. And then we had a 3-0 loss. I remember the 3-0 loss that was under Jurgen Klopp. So we kind of needed that result on Wednesday because our record against Brighton wasn't too great. You know, 2 wins that Brighton had against us, then the draw, and then we came back basically with 2 wins. So it's kind of like even shit right now because of the fact that we beat them in midweek in the cup. But Liverpool are sitting second in the table on 22 points. Brighton are sitting sixth in the table on 16 points. That is like, yo, like I said, the superlatives, I've already spoke about Fabian Herzler and the job he's doing over there at Brighton. For them to be sixth in the table on 16 points is crazy. It's crazy. But I've heard that João Pedro has returned to training. He missed their last 5 matches in all competitions due to an ankle injury he suffered in a 2-2 draw against Nottingham Forest on September the 22nd. So he was basically out for like about 6 weeks, boy. So, and he's probably one of their like, yeah, he's a problem for them. So for him to be back is good news for them. But at the same time, I don't think he's gonna be. They said he's available, but I don't think he's gonna be up to speed just yet if he's been out for so long. Do you know what I mean? So you might see him come on in like a cameo version, maybe like a sub or something. Lewis Dunk obviously is to be assessed following 2 games out. I think he obviously had an injury too. And then Ferdi Kadioglu may be available after being forced off during the loss to us on Wednesday. So I think he went off with an injury. I'm not too sure what type of injury it was, but he definitely went off with an injury, saying. So yeah, that's pretty much Brighton's news. Liverpool's lineup. Well, we know that we got injuries to 4 of our players, first teamers anyway. So I think he's gonna go Kelleher in goal again. Sorry, you're gonna see Kelleher come back into the team after Yaros played in midweek. Trent at right back. Konate and Virgil will come back into centre back and partner. I believe he's gonna go with Simicast, you know. I think he's gonna go with Simicast. Like I said, he said in the press conference that Simicast is in a good form at the minute, and he obviously that's due to the pre-season he had. So yeah, Simicast at left back, Gravenberch and Maka to come back in as the pivots. I think Soboslai is gonna go back into the 10. We know Nunes and Salah's gonna come back into the team. Nunes up front, Salah on the right, and I think he's gonna go with Gakpo. I do feel that it's not that Diaz is in bad form. I just think that Gakpo is just offering a bit more from the left position than Diaz does. He's offering that goal threat, and that's what we need right now. We need that goal threat. We need like Sobo to start scoring, Maka to get a goal, even Gravenberch get a goal. You know what I mean? Because Virgil, Konate, They're getting goals. I think Trent scored as well. So, you know. But yeah, my prediction for the game, people, I'm going with a 3-0 win. I think Liverpool, I think, because we was 2-0 up against Brighton in the cup. I know it's a cup game, and I understand this is both teams played their second teams, but I just feel with us being at Anfield and I feel defensively we're gonna be a bit more like better. So I'm going 3-0 win. My scorers, I'm going Gakpo. I think Nunes is gonna get a goal and Salah. Yeah, the front three. That's my goal scorers. Salah, Nunes, and Gakpo. That was your preview, guys. It's your boy Mike's. I'll be back for a match reaction after the game on Saturday. Until then, people, enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.